Guys, so welcome to again to the George will send the paramedics your way. So George has created a quiz for us, a TV show quiz. So I hope you guys are ready to know your TV shows. I know we've all been in isolation and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully some of these shows you have been watching while you've been in ISO. So Abraham, if you could go to the first one, please.
Yeah. Pens and papers, guys.
Pens and papers, no cheating, no looking up. This goes for you, Sheridan. And you, Talia. All right. So I do have the answers in front of me. So I'm disqualified. So is Nick and George. Okay.
I'll give you a few handy hints.
Yeah, George will give you some hints as well. Okay, the first one is, Abraham, if you could move down to the first picture.
Yep. Can't you guys see it?
No.
You're stuck on George's TV show, please.
What about now?
Nope.
No.
I give the background to these quiz.
Yeah, you can give the background, go for it.
Well, with technical, so some of you might know I do a little bit of work in some of the correctional facilities, and it's obviously very hard to enter prisons at the moment. That wasn't me. And so the guys in the prison like me sending different quizzes just to keep them busy and amused and entertained. So I actually did a few quizzes just like this one. They're getting to watch a lot of TV because they're not leaving their cell, unfortunately. But it's all a bit of fun, trying to get people to have a bit of a laugh at themselves and also reflect on some of the fun things they're watching. So it's just about us as a group doing the same thing, whether we're in lockdown just like them. So they're having a bit of a laugh at my expense.
Can you guys see that?
Yes, we can see you, Abraham. Okay, so this is the first one here. George, if you want to give a little bit of background to this show without giving too much of a clip.
Is it Neighbours? You got to keep you on your toes.
Yeah, we got to keep you on your toes, guys. Okay.
Depends.
Second one. So this one I can give you a hint. It is a cooking show. That's all I'm giving you.
Who's the master chef amongst our young leaders? Do we have one?
I think it's Talia, to be honest.
Yeah?
She starts shaking her head no. Sheridan, I reckon that's you, the master chef. I can't hear you.
We've seen some of the videos of the
cast. It depends who you're comparing to.
Okay, we'll go.
Next one.
Yeah, we'll go to the next one. This one should be pretty easy, so I'm only going to give you 2 seconds to answer this one. Next one.
Is you flying?
Yeah, gotta keep an eye on the time here, George.
Oh, is that Strawny?
Is that Strawny? Yeah. Next one. Obviously, this next one is a kids show.
Not necessarily.
I would say
some adults enjoy watching.
Next one.
You're flying. There's nowhere to hide.
This show I do not like because my mum watches it every single time it's on. And it annoys me. Next one. The host of this show is a former V8 supercar driver and used to be the weatherman for Sunrise.
Jeez, got some good info there.
Mm-hmm. Now we'll go to the next one. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
How are people going? Are they struggling?
I know that one.
You know that one, Sue?
Yeah.
All right, next one. I'm pretty sure no one's going to get this one if they haven't seen this one before.
Some of them go back a few years.
Yeah, they do.
Can't just have all the modern contemporary TV.
Nope.
Lauren probably won't get any, none of this Australiana TV.
I wonder if Cara got that one.
I'm struggling.
Struggling.
Next one. I have not seen this TV show before.
On the ABC. Crime. British crime. It's a good genre.
He's laughing. He might know it.
Who's that? Someone got it?
Abdi. He's just laughing. So I thought he might have known it.
Next one.
No, I'm not.
This one, I believe, is the worst sport in Australia. So I kind of have stuff against this. Sorry, Cara. Go to the next one. I just got a disapproval from Cara. This one.
You got to play. Even Lauren got this one.
Next one. Because I want it that way. Tell me why. If you don't know that scene, you don't watch this show. Next one. One of my top favorite comedians. This one.
He's on a few shows. That could have been a few, actually.
Yeah, but I know this one. I knew this one before I even got the answers.
Blakey's on fire.
Next one.
Mind you, he's read the answers, so he should be.
This one is another show I hate. I don't know why it's on. I hate this show with a passion.
Well, people can, when we do the answers, maybe people can tell us their impressions and if they watch them or not. They have to be honest.
Yeah, you have to be honest. I'll be targeting a few people I know here about this. Next one.
Someone must watch them because they're the highest rating TV show. So people got to own up.
So this one, actually, these two guys have been doing a lot of work with the Melbourne City social media team with their barbecue specials with some of the players. So what TV show are these guys?
Big City fans?
Apparently they're the #1 City fans. I don't know why, because I've got all this behind me. And the last one, that's what I'm talking about. This one has some disgusting challenges and no, it's not Survivor. Okay, we got time to go through the answers now. So we'll go to
Let's do it.
Go to the very first one, please, Abraham. Now, excuse my horrible singing for this one, but also to say, home and away.
We're being entertained by Blake tonight. It wasn't Neighbours?
No, it wasn't Neighbours. It was Home and Away.
Oh, close.
You were close, George, close. The second one is My Kitchen Rules.
Damn, I had Master Chef on this one. I must be just backing the wrong horse.
George, did you do his quiz?
Yes, he did. He's been a smart ass. He's been smart.
Okay.
Now, if anyone didn't get this next one right, I'm not going to be very happy. Hands up if you didn't get a current affair. No one's going to admit to it?
Hard-hitting current affairs.
Nothing to see here.
Next one. Yes, that is Strawny, but that is Peter Hellier from the Project on Channel 10. Jay is loving the entertainment. I can see there. This one is called Bluey.
Very popular TV show for kids. One of the biggest Australian exports to America now. Apparently it's massive.
Next one is The Block. I think they've done enough building houses in like 16 weeks. I think we've had enough of that. Next. Former race car VA supercar driver Grant Daniel and Kelly Whitmore host the Dancing with the Stars.
Sue, have you been on Dancing with the Stars?
Oh, God, no. I would never do that. I don't mind watching it from time to time, though. I do like the dancing. I've got 2 left feet.
So the next one, I am going to ask for their impression from Cara. Cara?
Put her on the spot.
Cara, do the impression of these two, please.
Look at my, look at my, look at my baby cheeses.
Captain Kim.
Lauren, is that what we all sound like to you?
No comment.
Do you not know this program, Lauren?
No, Neil showed it to me multiple times. Well, I haven't watched it, but he's shown me clips from it before. So
if you hear me say "look at me" to you, and then I show you from the other one. This one is called House Husbands. Abraham, thank you.
Do you need an impression from Abraham?
No, he didn't change it. Now, George, I'll let you say the name of this next show because why not? George?
That's Vera. She's an awesome detective. I think it might be set somewhere in the UK, maybe Wales. It's for us youngies to watch. Don't you guys watch it?
No.
Don't you like those all those crime shows from the UK, Silent Witness and that sort of stuff, or is it too gory for you?
I was in CIS, all right?
And so I do the American versions.
Yeah. Next one,
Lauren.
please.
yeah.
I'm going to ask Ella for the next one. What show's this? Hey, go backwards, Abraham. Go too far forward. Ella?
The footy show.
No, it's actually called Footy Classified. So that's
Oh,
on
who
the side.
cares? It's footy.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, the next one. Talia, can you please sing the song?
I have to sing the song, yes.
Talia,
Yeah,
sing the song for me.
I'm not singing the song for you. Good luck.
Extra points. Extra points.
I said, ready? So no one told you life was gonna be this way. It is Friends. Come on, Talia, join in the fun. Next one. Joel.
Hello, is that Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Yes, and what scene am I
good
talking
get.
about? Why did I sing I Want It That Way for that?
I'm gonna be honest with you, Blakey. I do not even watch the show. But wasn't it like they were interviewing suspects
I know why
and
you
they had to sing it?
Yeah, sorry, Dad.
Wait a minute. So, in one of the scenes, the lady was hiding in a bathroom and the culprit was singing the song Tell Me Why. So he had the lineup sing a certain part from each of the song, and whoever's voice was correct was the killer of her brother. And he ended up singing it. It was awesome.
So number 5.
So
So
you guys
number 5
know
was the
that.
killer for spoiler words. Next one, please.
Well done.
Sue, do you know the show?
I do, Blakey, but I can't remember. And has it got like a question? Is its title a question?
It's a question. Yes.
Yeah.
Husey, you have a problem.
I can't remember what it is. I haven't watched it.
Yeah, Husey, you have a problem.
Yes.
That's the name of the show. Now, this is one of the worst TV shows I have ever seen. Married at First Sight. If people want to argue with me, you can find me on Facebook and argue. I don't care. All right? All right. Next one. Sheridan, if you could, please. What's your answer? You need to unmute yourself.
I'm a celebrity, get me out.
No, the one before that.
Oh.
The one before it.
Oh, this was a guess. I guessed Gogglebox.
That is correct.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure Lauren knows the next one. So, Lauren?
No, I don't.
You don't?
Survivor?
No.
Good try.
I have no
Sheridan
idea.
said it
Outdoors?
before is I'm a celebrity.
Celebrity, get me out of here.
The Australian version. All right, guys. I want you to put your hands up if you got more than 10 right.
What can you see? Any hands going up?
Hands up for me if you've got more than 10. More than 15?
Look, I'd love to say I did awesome in that, but I came halfway through, so that doesn't
Yeah, fair enough. I think, Cara, how many did you get? Well, I can't hear you.
What did you say?
1 second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I got 14.
Anyone could be 14.
Because that's all I've been doing during ISO.
No one can beat 14. Well, congratulations, Cara. You were the winner of the first quiz of the night.
Can't blame
Thank
you.
you.
Who watches TV anyway? It's all about Netflix.
Okay, I'm now going to pass over to Nick. Nick?
Hey guys, how you going? Following on from last week last time where we had Richard Wimbishler as our special guest, this time we have Sue Crow, the head of community. Sue's achievements are that she's a former CEO of Netball Victoria and the Melbourne Vixens, Director of Cricket Victoria, Chief Executive of Softball Australia, and Vic Health Board member. Sue, how are you?
Good, thanks, Nick. Thanks for having me on. I'm probably not going to be quite as exciting as Richard.
No, I'm sure you will be. So we've got a few questions for you. They've come in from some of the guys at SEDA. The first one is, obviously you've been at Melbourne Heart City for a while. What, in your opinion, has been the biggest breakthrough for the club in terms of the community side?
I think absolutely having access to our counterparts in New York and Manchester. Now there's 9 clubs and most of them have city in the communities. So to be able to do programs globally with them, but also our local programs, that's been the big thing. And we've now got we've got people we can call upon overseas for advice or to share information. And having access to the Global Citizens Giving Fund has really helped us with programs.
So, you've got a long history in sport, as we can tell by there. How did you get started in the sport rec industry, and what challenges did you face on the way?
I think, I started off as a phys ed teacher, so that was my very first foray into it. And then I had time off when I had my children as babies. And then Justin, my oldest boy, when he got into prep at school, really wanted to do Auskick. So I took him down to the local clinic and they were going to fold because they didn't have anybody to run it. And I thought, well, I don't play football or AFL, but I could certainly run the clinic and coach, and I can use the mums and dads to help me. And so I ran that clinic for 4 years. And from doing that, I was asked to come and work at the AFL in a game development role. So I was the first female they employed as National Development Officer. This was a long time ago, but it was from doing that volunteering that created that opportunity for me.
Yeah. So going on from that, working in AFL, which sport has been the most challenging to work in for you?
Well, I think possibly women's cricket. So I was also CEO of Women's Cricket Australia. And whilst it was really challenging, it's probably one of the things I'm most proud of as well. So back in the day, if you look at the female cricketers now, they're all paid to play. They're on good contracts. They're on TV. They can go overseas to play. Back when I was there, when we sent our Australian team, the Southern Stars, overseas to play in World Cups and World Championships, they had to buy their own uniforms, pay for their airfares, their travel, their accommodation. So it was really hard. And then whilst they'd also have to give up their jobs while they were away to do this. So it really was a very much amateur sport. And we were separate to men's cricket at the time. So probably one of the things that I initiated was to integrate with the men's cricket. And that took a long time. And there was a lot of resistance, not only from the women, but the men as well. But it truly was the best thing that happened. And what I could see for the sport we needed to integrate, and that vision now you're seeing, and it's something I'm really proud of.
So what is one piece of advice for our young leaders who want to start a career in sport and rec?
I think I really think the volunteering piece is a big one, because if you can demonstrate to someone that you know, you're good at something, you can be relied upon, you've got ideas, then chances are you might get a job. Now, that's easier said than done. It's often timing. It's often the right time. But I probably have created 3 jobs for myself over the time. So if you've got a really good idea, or if you think that you could do something, then don't hesitate to offer it. For example, with the job at Melbourne Harsh, I'd been at netball for 3 or 4 years, and I'd had enough of that. And I sat down and I thought about what I could do, what I was good at, what I wasn't good at, what I liked to do, what I didn't like to do. And I came up with a job description, and it was around community. So I called the chairman at the time, Peter Sidwell, and asked, could we have a coffee? And I presented my ideas to him, and I didn't know that they were going to set this club up as one with real community values. But because I'd suggested this, and that's what they wanted to do, I was offered a job. So they didn't go and advertise it, I was offered it. So I'd really encourage you to think too about what you can offer an organisation, and the worst thing that can happen is they say no. So I reckon go for it.
So just going back on the City Football Group takeover, what have been the main changes from the community side of things from when they first started as Heart to now?
I think in the past, the community department, we ran everything. So we ran all the tournaments, all the schools programs, all the club programs. We set up City Club. We did the whole spectrum of it. And then as we got bigger, and as there was more funding coming into social impact programs, we were eventually able to separate, so that City in the Community now, when it was set up as a charity, is purely around running programs for positive social impact. And then there's other people in the club that can do the fan engagement work that we were also doing. So I think by having Manchester City in the Community doing the social impact work and New York doing the same, we were eventually, once we were registered as a charity, could do that.
So we're going back to the sport and rec industry. How will you see it grow in the next 10 years, or where do you think it will go?
The sport and rec industry?
Yeah.
Gosh, this probably got a really different answer tonight than if you'd asked me this 6 months ago. I think there's going to be a whole reset. I think community sport's going to really have to look at what they're delivering and how they're delivering it. I think people are perhaps going to be in a position to be able to afford big fees to join local clubs. I think often, and also now that parents and kids have got used to not to going to sport, there could be a challenge with getting some of them back on a regular basis. So I just think it's going to be probably a step back for a while. You know, national bodies like Football Australia and Netball Australia and the peak bodies aren't going to have a lot of money to support grassroots sport. So I think that there'll be changes, and maybe people will look at more of the sort of programs that we run, with the free programs that kids can just come along and do without having to, you know, pay big fees, buy uniforms, that sort of thing.
Could you elaborate a little bit more on what you were doing with Netball Victoria and the Vixens?
Yeah, so I took over as CEO of Netball Victoria, and that year I took over, it was announced there'd be a new competition, the ANZ Championship, involving 6 New Zealand teams and 6 Australian teams. So when I started, we had 2 teams, Phoenix and Kestrels, which played in the old Netball League. So we had to somehow finish that year and, effectively lose 2 teams, 2 coaches, and build a new team, the Melbourne Vixens. So it was right from the very beginning. We had to do the branding and the colours. We had to recruit a team. We had to find a coach. And yeah, join the competition. And of course, Victoria's got a proud history of netball, so we wanted to be very successful from the beginning. So it was our second year that we won the championship, which we're really proud of. But also, we then needed to set up some underpinning programs. So we had to set up a new Victorian Netball League, which was a feeder program, and also the Australian Netball League was an underpinning program for the ANZ Championship. So there was a lot of change in the sport, and at times a lot of resistance as well. But it's worked out well, and now they've moved on to another iteration of the Super League, I think it's called. And but it's good to see Melbourne Vixens doing really well. They've kept their colours and their logo and their culture. And it's also good to see Collingwood have picked up a team as well in the competition.
So in your opinion, which social issue needs the most attention for community development and the sport in the future?
Look, for me, I think it's probably around social inclusion, which is where our programs are based. I think we're a very diverse society, both multiculturally and with people with disabilities and all sorts of things, that I think it's important that we have programs and provide for people, for everybody that's included. But also I think obesity is a big issue now with kids, so childhood obesity. So I think it's really important that, you know, there's access to sporting or recreational programs for kids, so that they're not going to have the health problems as they grow up that are associated with being overweight.
A lot of people here, along with myself, were lucky enough to participate in the online Young Leaders Summit. We were focusing on adapting our programs to work within the COVID-19 pandemic. How has the pandemic affected City as a whole?
Yes, there's been, and I'll just talk from City in the community, but obviously the football department's had enormous challenges, and fingers crossed we get on the park on Saturday night and beat Sydney. But for City in the community, I mean, our whole being is around engaging with the community, and that's on a face-to-face basis, and playing football with kids. So we've had to deliver our programs remotely, and it's been a big challenge for my team to do that. But we've created a lot of resources where we're delivering programs remotely in schools, and also remotely through the I Speak Football program. So it's been very different, but I can't wait for the day where you can all get back on the park and actually have a kick and a run around.
And again, thank you for coming on tonight and having a chat to our wonderful young ladies. Before we get to the last question, just a reminder, guys, that at 7 p.m. tomorrow night, we'll be debuting a new podcast, which will help make awareness for the Citizens Recovery Program. Sucro, along with myself and Tanya, the social media person, we'll be having a chat to Sue about the city in the community. So please make sure you guys get on that and check that out as well. Sue, you mentioned that the Vixens got to win a title in your second year. Now, you and I have been at this club since the start. Do you think the boys can go all the way?
Yes, I do. And I think after 10 years, it's time.
It is definitely time. I'll have to do it with no fans. Yes. So, again, on behalf of everyone here tonight, the youth leaders and your team, of course, thank you very much for coming in, and hope you're enjoying it so far.
Yeah, thanks for having me, everybody.
Yeah. Do you guys have any questions you might have for Stu or anything? Anyone?
I got one question.
Okay, go ahead.
How patient did you have to be, Sue, you know, in that process, going from doing community NAB volunteering work to making your way to head of community at Melbourne City? How patient did you have to be?
Well, in fact, I was doing it while I wasn't doing it to get a job because I intended to go back teaching. So that was quite good. But probably you do need to be patient. And as I said before, it's often just being in the right place at the right time. So, it doesn't happen automatically. But, it was probably after, I probably did 4 years kick, but I wasn't looking. I was just doing it to help out my son. I thought I'll go back teaching, but I didn't do that. But, you do need to be patient. And you also need to have a plan B as well.
So just to elaborate on that, Edmund, Sue and I go back since the start, and I actually have been volunteer for 6 years at the club before I actually got paid work with the club. So it does take, again, it's all about the timing, and it's about how hard you work, because people will notice you.
Yeah. And Cara, the same. How long were you volunteering for?
I was volunteering for about a year and a half. And as Blakey said, it's about working extremely hard and being in the right place at the right time. I was originally helping and volunteering with our events team. And then I got opportunities to help City in the community and run some clinics up in Shepparton with Sue and the team. And it was gaining those relationships and then being noticed by the right people and being in the right place at the right time to be able to start moving forward with my role.
Just before we move on, Jay just had to go to another meeting, so she says thank you for your time, Sue. Have to back off for a bit. So Jay said to say that. Okay, anyone else got a quick question for Sue before we move on? Sue, do you think it's time we lose the red and white, or do you think we should keep it?
Oh, I still quite like the red and white, and obviously there are fans that still do, and I think sometimes it's nice to keep a little bit of history. I don't know, Blakey.
That's why I asked you, because I've got it right behind me. So
yeah, I'm not going to get in an argument with Ferran about it.
No. Okay, so again, thank you, Sue. I hope you stick around. We do have a couple more quizzes. We do have a couple more quizzes to do.
Do a bit better in this one, maybe.
So with this one, guys, what I'm going to do is in the chat section, I am going to post a link.
I think Abraham's put the link.
Yeah, the link's already in there, Blake.
I'll just do it again just in case people who joined after you post it don't see it. So if you go to the chat section at the bottom of your screen, there'll be a link there. You have 5 minutes to name as many countries as you can. Your time starts now.
Sorry, guys, you've got to start the start quiz. Bring it up. On here, you got to start the quiz, and then you can just do 5 minutes. It's got 15 minutes, but you've only got to do 5 minutes. So I'll show you guys. You can see on my screen, I've got start quiz. As soon as I say start quiz, it's got it there, right? Spain, it enters it. You don't have to press enter. France. Does that make sense? And then you pause. Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah.
Your time starts now. 2 minutes remaining, guys. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up.
All
Over
right.
to you, Nick.
Raise your hand if you got more than 25. There's a few hands. 50? Any more than 50? There's a few. 75? 100? James, how many did you get?
103.
Well,
I think we've got a
James.
winner.
Come on.
Well done.
Oh,
Yeah,
here we
but
go. Here's
when
proof.
I
103.
Did anyone get close to 103?
I thought you had to click on the country, like you had to. So I was.
So did I.
Yeah.
So did I.
And then at one point I just typed something and it worked, and then I was like, oh, you don't have to know where the country's at. You just have to name the country.
Yeah. She'll listen to Abraham's instructions a little bit more. Right.
I didn't hear. I'm sorry.
All
Okay.
right. We got one more quiz to do, and then before we move on to that, again, guys, remember your challenges on social media. Abraham, if you could just stop sharing the screen for a second.
Give me a second.
I can take over, don't I? All right, and we want this one. So as you can see here, guys, I am. This 1 second. Share.
James, what country? What category? Continent did you have the most countries listed in?
I believe it's Asia or Africa. I'm not sure.
Okay.
So, can everyone see my Facebook page here?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So I took a photo before we started because I've got to record. So again, I've put Citizens for Recovery, it takes 3 friends to do it. So I've nominated 3 people there, one being Scott Jefferson, because I like to annoy him. But I've also put the link there. So guys, when you do these challenges, please make sure you grab the link, okay? And it will lead to this page, okay? And they can go on there, they can donate. Again, our goal is there. Again, whatever we make, the City Football Group will double. Okay, guys, so please make sure you do that by 8 p.m. tonight, if you could, please. All right, back to sharing the screen with Abraham. Sorry about that, guys. I'll just do that real quick. Abraham?
Share screen.
Esper, it's nice to see you. I haven't seen you for so long.
Yeah, nice to see you, Sue. Sorry, I've been away.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I've been busy.
All right.
It's good to be back.
Good.
So I was asked at 3 o'clock this afternoon to come up with a quick 5-question quiz for you guys. So I basically based it around the club. More of a Melbourne Heart kind of era. So question number 1, multiple choice question here, guys. What year did Harry Kill play for Melbourne Heart? 2012, 2010, 2013, or 2011? Nick, you can partake in this one.
2013.
Don't yell out the answers, please. Mute yourself.
Thanks, mate.
Mute yourself, please. Okay.
All right, the second one. Which of these players did not play for Melbourne Heart? Melbourne Heart.
So we got A, assist page, Jason Hospital, David Vilhart, or Tando Valapi. Nick, you can partake in this one if you want.
I reckon
Don't put it, no, keep your mics muted. This is for you guys to write down yourself. We'll go through the answers afterwards.
George Halkes.
In the last derby of 2013-2014 season, how many goals did the Melbourne Heart score against the Melbourne Rigid? Was it 3, 2, 1, or 4? I should know this one because I commentated on that derby. Now, Abraham has spelled, will tell you a story after this one, but who was the first ever captain for Melbourne City? Was it Scott Jemison, Patrick Snorbo, Rob Wilhart, or Andrew Redmayne? I made this a pretty easy one at the end. How many years have I been at the club? That includes my volunteer. Is it 10, 5, 6, or 8? So you should know this one off by heart.
I think I know them all bar one of them.
One of them. Okay, guys, you ready for the answers? This is the final one. What year did Harry Kewell play for the Melbourne Heart? James, what was your answer?
I said 2010. There from the start, I reckon.
That is incorrect. He was not there for the Heart. Sue, do you know this one?
Well, I'm guessing 2013.
Yes, so 2013 he was signed at the club and played his first game for the club. Which of these players did not play for the Melbourne Heart? Abraham, was it ASB, Jason Hoffman, David Vilhart, Villa, or Tando Valapi? Cara?
Is it Jason Hoffman?
That is incorrect because I've got his shirt right here.
Well, it's not really in frame, is it, Blakey?
No, I can't. Hang on.
I was going to say, move over a little.
There you go. Jason Hoffman. Melbourne Heart. The correct answer, and I made this a tricky one for the second one, is David Villa. He only played for Melbourne City, not Melbourne Heart.
Now, Blakey, Scott Mann, our CEO, said I had to call him David Villa.
David Villa. Oh, sorry.
How many games did he play?
He only played 3.
How many was he meant to play?
10. Now, fun fact, you can search this up on YouTube, search Melbourne Derby fan zone commentary. In the last derby of 2013-2014 season, how many goals did the Melbourne Heart score? George, do you know this one? George?
No.
you don't know this one?
I'll go 4.
You are correct. They won 4-0 against the Melbourne Victory in the last derby of the season. And that's where that Jason Hoffman shirt comes from, because at the awards night we had an option. I won it. Now, who was the first ever captain for Melbourne City? Zoe? I'm only picking on you because I can see you reading there.
Sorry, eating my dinner. Honestly, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'm going to say Rob Wildhard.
Okay. Jay, what's your answer?
I'd say PK.
Okay. And Abdi, what's your answer?
I'll say Patrick Kinzeras.
Yeah, so Abraham accidentally spelt his name wrong, but the correct captain is Patrick Kisnorbo. You spelt the last name wrong, Abraham. I'll be telling him that. All right, and for the last one, Callum, how many years have I been at the club? Caleb?
Oh, is that me? I said 10.
You said 10. Sue, do you want to reveal the answer for us?
Yeah, 10.
Yeah, that is great.
Have we got time for me to tell a short Jason Hoffman story?
Yeah, you do.
Yes.
So when we first started, he was probably the first player that we had available and the only player that we had available for community visits. And we were going up to Mildura to do some work up there, which is like up in the northwest of Victoria. So Hoffy and I flew up in a small plane, and Mildura was fog bound, just completely covered in fog. So we couldn't land there. So we left Melbourne at 8:30 in the morning, and we were supposed to be in Mildura at 9:30 in the morning. We flew round and round and round, and then the plane was running out of fuel, so we had to fly to Adelaide and land there. And they were keeping us on the plane, and I said, look, for goodness sake, I've got an elite player here. He needs to eat. He needs to get something to eat. So they gave us all vouchers for the people on the plane to get off in Adelaide, go and buy some food and drink and come back on. So we did that. And then we flew round and round again, and we got to Mildura at 6 p.m. that night. It was the longest flight, and I'm sure that Hoffy probably didn't ever want to do any more appearances after that, because it was a long day.
He did about, I think, 5 appearances after that all up, from what
Hoffy was a really good supporter of our community work.
That was John Aloisi when he came out to Shepparton for the coaches and all that stuff. So.
Yeah.
Again, guys, hope you guys have enjoyed tonight. Again, remember those challenges, and remember Zoe's food challenge on Wednesday. Zoe, do you want to talk a little bit about that before we wrap this up?
You always get me right as I have a mouthful of
food. I always time it. I'm watching it.
Oh, sorry. I've got another phone call after this that I have to get to. Cool. So on Wednesday, we will be starting the Citizens Create, which the first challenge is to make your favorite food dish. So, for example, I made pizza. I'm going to make pizza. And just take a photo, video, creating a dish, share it, tag 3 friends. Pretty much the same for these challenge as well, but lots of fun. So share it, do it, and spread the word, guys.
And just before we go to the Abraham, just a reminder again, they'll be shared over different platforms if you're part of the Melbourne City Facebook group. 7 p.m. tomorrow night with Tanya and myself, with our special guest again, Sue Craig. It will be only a short episode to start us off, but the following week we will have a special guest that I will not know until the actual day. So please get on board. If you have any questions for Sue that you didn't want to ask here, feel free to message me. I'll be able to ask her on the podcast tomorrow night.
Good luck with all your challenges.
Yeah, and before we end it, I'd also like to mention, as you can see, we've got Zoe, we've got Blake, all these young leaders doing the challenges already. So I would really like to get all of you guys on board as well. We've got new guys like Caleb, Ryan, Jay, and a lot of other young guys joining us this year. So we'd like to get you guys all involved, get your family and friends involved through social media, and try to raise as much money as we can, and just really work well together. And as Blake mentioned and Zoe mentioned, you don't have to do a video. I don't know, I probably can't do 25 push-ups. I'll probably take a photo. I'll do 10 and I'll take a photo and I'll tag my friends and family. And if it's a bit too late tonight to do one, until tomorrow, 12 p.m., that's okay, as long as you just upload it and share it. A lot of guys have already put their hands up, so I've sent the email to those who put their hand up who want to take part in the challenges. So if you've got friends that want to take part, please share it with them and then get them involved. And let's try to raise as much money as possible for the Citizens Giving campaign. We've got until the end of August. I would also like to thank for tonight, making it possible. Thanks to James Penny from SEDA for creating the questions for Sue, who joined us tonight. So thank you to Sue as well for joining us tonight and answering the questions and introducing the Citizens Giving campaign. Great to have you on.
Pleasure, Abraham. Anytime.
Thank you to Blake and Nick as well. They're putting work into this. We've had a phone call. We had a catch up before this. So they're really good. And they did great work together. And I think second one for Blake, first one for Nick. So I would like to thank Blake, but also thank Nick a lot because I know it's his first time doing this.
No worries. Thanks, Abraham.
Well done, Nick.
Most important, I would like to thank all of you guys for joining us. I know 6 p.m. was dinner time, so just give us some feedback on what you think, what timing works well for you guys, and we can work around it. Because I know it's fun to do more of these and always try to improve them. There was less talking and more activities, more groups, and you guys interacting better together. So we'd like to do more of these and just share any ideas that you might have for us or feedback. I know we're going to start the next one very soon, and we're going to get 2 new young leaders to host it, and I'll be here as their support. So if you really want to be involved, just shoot me a message or any of the staff members a message. I'd like to thank the 15 young leaders that joined us tonight, the 3 staff members, George, Cara, Lauren, and also Sheridan joining us all the way from SEDA. Thanks for joining us. I know you've got class tomorrow as well, but thanks for staying up and joining us today with the kids around, as I can see.
Yeah, she's down the bottom there. Sheridan, if you like, I can send this through to you. I've recorded it. So if you want to share it with the rest of your class, I can send it to you as well.
Yeah. So thanks to everyone getting involved. Good number tonight to get 21 involved. And also we ran on time. Last time we were over 20 minutes behind. But it was good. And this time it's good to be on time.
Well, you can't tell Richard Winberg to be quiet when he wants to keep talking. So you can't be rude.
A lot of great questions for
Richard. You can cut Blakey short though.
That's why I was speeding through the TV shows to make sure we got on time.
Oh, you're good MC.
Yeah, it'll be good. But yeah, shoot me a message on WhatsApp. Give me a call, text message, or an email. Love to hear from you guys, especially the new ones. And yeah, hopefully we can work well together. And hopefully, when things are back to normal, we can organise these types of things face to face.
Yeah, exactly.
Guys, also
we'll shout pizzas for you all.
Also, guys, please give a big hand to Abraham and the Melbourne City staff team as well.
Thanks, Abraham.
Well done,
and Talia as well for turning.
Thanks, Abraham.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, James, as well for the questions. And thanks, Blake, for doing the quiz.
You're welcome. Anytime, Abraham. All right, guys, go eat dinner.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Okay, guys.